Good morning. We're at our farmhouse this morning. We put this boiler in 2006, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And we've been, ever since I put it in, we're having trouble with it. The little tab is worn off on this side of the burner, and the shroud keeps popping up, and then it gets, while the fan is running, it comes up and hits it and makes a whirring noise. And I've put it back together 5-6 times and it's still doing it. Here, I'll show you on the other burner. So finally, I just went and bought a new burner. Screw it. See these little tabs? The one on that side is broken off, kind of. So while it's running, it vibrates and it just pops up. And there's another little shroud in here. We'll show you. It comes up and hits the inside of the squirrel wheel. So, alright, we're going to take it all apart, so we might as well change the chamber too, because it's 15 years old. So that's what we're going to do today. 0407. I believe it's 2004 July. Unplug it. It's hitting. There. That's plugged. I mean, it's still in good shape, but I got one. We'll just change it. That's not bad for 15 years, 16 years. There you go.
Cut the switch off on the air handler.
Yeah. Weil Mclain Gold is a 1072 kit from the Lynn Manufacturing Company. Comes with a door, a floor, and a target wall. And a bunch of other little things. A rope gasket, a burner seal, some little wedgies, and glue. Make sure you shake it. There it is. Just keeps it from rattling around in there until it can swell up from the heat. Next step is a blanket. It's got a rough side and a smooth side. Smooth side goes down. And as you can see, this pad is made for any size boiler. From 3 section all the way up to, I think, 7, right?
Yeah.
So you just lay it in there and cut it. Doesn't have to be pretty. Danger: causes serious eye damage, causes skin irritation, and harmful if swallowed. So don't take any shots of it. It's liquid sodium silicate. 40% solution of soda and silica in water. Also known as water glass. So what I do is I just take the knife and just pop a little hole in it. So you're not dumping it. Squirt it in there. I just squirt it around. Got one of these cheap sponges. Sponges. You just drop it in there. That'll just give it a little adherence to the metal so that the it doesn't lift up. I've got the directions. Usually comes out. Leave it on. You don't want to breathe in this stuff. Okay, it's got a little sticky here, but we were in port. We start at the bottom here. Don't try to stretch it, Mike, because then it yanks itself off. Listen to that. It's a couple inches longer, so they all fit. There we go. Not too hard. Pretty easy. Just sits in there like that. And then here's a tip. Don't try to push this in like here, because you'll bust it. There's only one way. And it's like this. And here's where being fat comes in handy. Look at that. Absolutely perfect, right?
Perfect.
And that's basically it for changing the chamber. Now all you do is put it back together and fire that mother up. The kit doesn't come with a new gasket, the burner does. So if you're changing just your chamber, make sure you order a burner gasket. They're only, what, like $2?
Yeah. Cheap insurance.
Cheap. You pop these out. 1, 2, 3. Here's a tip. Carlin will probably, and some people will say otherwise, but unless your burner's in a cold environment, you don't need this. This is an electrical heater, 120 volt. And I don't care. You're going to be going out one night because it's blowing the circuit breaker in the house for the boiler. It might be next year. It might be 5 years from now. It might be 10 years. But you will be going. Because over time, they short out and pop the circuit breaker. Took me several late night trips out to learn my lesson. Okay, so these boilers don't come with a nozzle. I mean, burners. So, don't over tighten it. They're machine surfaces. You don't have to crank it. It's only about, I think, 12 pounds. Not even. 8 pounds, I think. A 1/2 inch above, 1/8 inch apart, and just forward. Any more than that, it'll impinge. Retention head. Install nozzle before firing. Carlin burners come with a set of plates. And it goes by gallon. Can you see it? Gallon per hour, 50, 60 to 65, 75. And this is the most common because most 3-4 sections are 5 sections. So this is a 3 section, so we need the 0.85. And it goes, you pull this fit screw up. And that goes right in there. Okay, now when you set your nozzle assembly in, it's new and it's tight, so, but now it's setting the depth of the retention head against the end of the tube. Each one of these are shorter or longer where this hole is drilled. See, the 165, it's in further so that this head comes out further and more air can go around. That's basically setting your static pressure inside this tube. The blower's blowing, all the air can't get through, so the closer this head is to that ring, the more pressure that's in here. And that's about it. Make sure you tighten your nozzle line or you're going to get a bath. Well, the next step is just adjust the air band. See the little arrow? These are pretty damn close. So you start off right at 85 because that's the nozzle size. My favorite stuff. Little dab will do ya. Well, another tip, these hydrostats, if you have one with the old style probe, see it's plastic, change it to the new, because we've had a ton of problems with this reading low water because it melts and it doesn't have any more tension and it loses connection. So always change them. They're only about 12 bucks. And you can tell it's nice and tight. on the Carlin. Right here, hold it for 10 seconds. It says press 10 seconds for prime. There it goes. Prime pump. Gives you 1 minute. Usually don't need it, but it's already. You got to remember, on new chambers, you have to cure them. I see a lot of guys just throw them in, let it rip. But 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, and then turn it on. Not as much the Weil Mclain chambers, but there are chambers, Burnham's. It's a wet pack, and it'll come in a sealed bag, and you got to cut it open, and it's wet, and when you pack it in there, it forms, and now when you cure it, it hardens. But if you just let it go real fast, it'll outgas so fast that it'll crack. What I do is 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, and you open the door and let the cool air in there. And that's basically it. Now all we gotta do is adjust it, test it, and it'll be back in business. It sounds quieter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the fan. And it spins, blows air. And there's the shroud. It pops up and it hits the inside here, right on these little tabs, and it just see how it moves? I tried everything, but over time, me screwing with it bent it, and it's not a serviceable part. See, it's riveted. So, the hell with it. I got friends and family cost on the burners, so. I'll just use this for parts, and we should be okay. Actually, always save these because they make great shims when you're trying to level a boiler or a water heater or something. Shove them under there. They're galvanized so they don't rust.